Hello, I'm Brian Fox. Welcome to I Hate Rock Music. Today I want to talk about Bill Frisell's Power Tools. Technically not a rock band, and technically maybe not even a power trio, but they got the goods, and anybody who's a rock fan would probably be interested in power tools. And one of the things I find most fascinating about them is that they're a jazz rock band of sorts, but they're not like jazz rock fusion bands. They use actual jazz arrangements and a lot of free jazz elements to their sound that really makes them stand alone amongst bands that meld rock and jazz. And so that makes them pretty unique. And then the lineup is just stunning. Bill Frisell, a legend on guitar and effects, and a black rhythm section, Melvin Gibbs and Ronald Shannon Jackson. Of course, Shannon Jackson has a lot of connections to Ornette Coleman's bands, and Melvin Gibbs was known in the New York jazz scene, but also ended up in hardcore bands like Henry Rollins' punk metal core band. So he's pretty versatile, but I think the idea of bringing this black free jazz rhythm section has a lot to do with the magic of the Power Tools' only album, Strange Meeting, recorded in 1987. They bring a great rhythmic pulse to the more restrained moments of Power Tools, but then when it comes time to break everything up and play completely free, they're utterly at home with that. And I think it's some of Bill Frisell's finest work as far as I'm concerned. I first came across him playing with a lot of chamber jazz groups like Paul Motion and John Garbarek and records on ECM. So when I heard about the Power Tools, I was really excited because he's playing with a real powerhouse rhythm section, and I know he's capable of doing some pretty amazing things, and he totally releases a whole bunch of amazing things with Power Tools. It's probably his most extreme work. The music they produce can be very quiet and lilting with great melody and subtle playing, and then immediately bust out into just staggering free jazz moments with Bill Frisell playing some just super insane stuff. And it really shows Bill Frisell's brilliance beyond anything I've ever heard. And part of it is the rig he used. I looked it up, and apparently at the time of Power Tools, he was playing a Gibson SG through two 112-inch Fender amps. And then, of all things, he used a Proco Rat Fuzz, a volume pedal, and then he used an old 1980s Electro Harmonix 16-second digital delay, and then also another delay. And that's one of the things that makes his work with Power Tools so interesting, his use of delays. And he has such a great grasp of it that he can get all these micro harmonies going on using delay, so that the restrictions of just being a one guitar band are completely obliterated because he ends up laying a carpet of sounds and guitar work with the delay that he plays over, and it creates quite a landscape. And so I just think that Bill Frisell definitely is one of the world's finest guitar players right now. Certainly one of the most interesting ones. Has quite a catalog, but Power Tools is really, for me, a consummate work. It's a desert island disc. It's just flawless. The moments on it, they're so beautiful, and the band interaction is so wonderful. And then these moments that are just frightening, the complete restrained chaos of this free jazz rhythm section, and then his soaring and amazing guitar, usually laced with the delay effects. It's really something to be heard. And thankfully, we not only have that one album, but there's actually a couple of great live shows out there. At least one of them is available through Ronald Shannon Jackson's website and his Bandcamp channel. And I'll post the live shows below as well. And the band kind of stayed together in a way. Ronald Shannon Jackson and Melvin Gibbs besides their work with Ronald John Jackson, for example, was in the free jazz supergroup Last Exit. He was doing that the same year as Power Tools, and then of course Melvin Gibbs moved on to the Rollins band with Henry Rollins from Black Flag. But Power Tools actually had a second incarnation with Vernon Reid on guitar, so an all black power trio. And Vernon Reid, of course, also played with Living Colour all around the same time. So that core group of musicians was doing a lot of interesting projects in both jazz and rock at the time. But this is their consummate work, and over the years, a lot of people have realized that there really isn't anything like them, and I fucking love Bill Frisell's Power Tools. I'm Brian Fox. Thanks for watching I Hate Rock Music.